Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Don't pause. Press play. 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 Don't pause. Press play. You got to say. Press play. Press play. Don't pause, press play. Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Don't pause. Press play. 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 Don't pause. Press play. You got to say. Press play. Press play. Don't pause, press play.
Hello everyone, the Pixel Hero here, and this is the commentary track for Play, or well, Deathwish Level 1 Play. Now this is going to be a full, raw, uncut take, so you're going to hear some pauses and some ums and some and some like and some so's, some ands. You're going to hear all the stuff I usually cut out of videos, because this is all unscripted, coming from my head, speaking about my thoughts of each level. So yeah, so this is the first, I guess, commentary track for Play, which was the very first level of Deathwish. Believe it or not, fun fact actually, the song cut for this level was made way before Deathwish was even thought of. It was kind of just like a fun project, but it turned out so good that I was like, man, I really want to make this to a thing. And well, I did. That's why we have Deathwish now. What else? Oh yeah, speaking of, this was originally for a concept I had, which was called Geometry Dash Monster Cat, and it was going to be all Monster Cat related songs, but Monster Cat's song choices are very, very, how do I say this? Diverse? Is that the word I'm trying to think of? There's a lot of genres and stuff, and a lot of it isn't like rhythm game worthy. Some of it is, like the older stuff, especially in like Just Shapes and Beats and all that. But I mean, Tokyo Machine had like the most video gamey feel to me, so I did stick with that one. So other than that, you know, that obviously didn't go anywhere. So I kind of just kept it to revive the joke that was Deathwish, and so now we're here. So if you were wondering, the theme of this level seems very everywhere, but I tried to go for like some kind of a video game cyber theme, especially since the song is centered around video games. The lyrics obviously, you know, point to that. But yeah, that was like the main sort of thing I was trying to go with. It's kind of hard to get to like a video game sense, or like a video game theme with the stuff I had. Because this is supposed to be like, you know, quote-unquote traditional RobTop slash a mix of my own thing, which is kind of like what Biohazard was. And I guess you could consider this a spiritual successor to Deathwish. I mean, to Biohazard. It's less of a sequel because Hydronomic is supposed to be the sequel. Speaking of, I might bring up Hydronomic a lot, so I apologize in advance. But yeah, so there was a lot of like video game influence, and it was kind of hard to come with like a theme, but most specifically in the spider theme and the very, very last section, it was more so like a video game. That was where the video game theme shines. In the other parts, it was kind of like a cyber theme, which is why I stuck with the background. And I must say, the gradient trigger makes backgrounds look so much better, because like this level probably wouldn't have looked as good if it didn't have the gradient trigger. I don't really like the grid background that much, but I gotta say the gradient does make it pop out, so it actually looks really good. So just like Biohazard's kind of gimmick is that it's supposed to show off how you can use 2.2 stuff. So in Biohazard, the only things I really had access to were the camera triggers, like the zoom and the static and the offset. That was it, and reverse, and that was pretty much it. I didn't have particles or going the arrow trigger, the gameplay one, or the gradient, or the monsters, or the particles. I think I mentioned particles. In the animations, I didn't have all of that. So with Deathwish, I could do way more and kind of like do a kind of a baby version of Hydronomic, because Hydronomic is going to be like 10 times crazier than Deathwish, 100%. Right now, I can't do much just because everything's buggy. I don't get how people make the arrow trigger work so well. It's so smooth. I don't know. Maybe it's something I'm doing wrong, but it hardly ever works for me, which is weird. I'm pretty sure I'm up to date with the GDPS, and it still kind of doesn't work, but I mean, I'll figure it out eventually, especially since level 3. If you're watching this on the launch day of the video, level 3 video hasn't come out yet, but if you played it, you know the part I'm talking about. It's a bit buggy, so an update will definitely come. I'll keep an eye on the whole GDPS. If there's if there's ever an update, I will update it and fix it, because right now it's very buggy, but oh well. But yeah, if you can tell, the spider part, which is like the into the drop, the blocks are kind of centered towards, like, I guess Sonic. Everybody says they're Sonic blocks, and I mean that is kind of the aesthetic I was going for. If you remember correctly, the GDPS, or no, what am I talking about? I was going to make a video starting off a new video series called Wouldn't It Be Cool? And it was gonna have update 2.3 as a concept video, but it turns out a lot of the stuff that I mentioned in that video is already in 2.2. I had the idea for the Sonic blocks. You could already make those in 2.2. As I already did that. What was it? There was something else. I think it was this. No, I don't think it was the split screen. It might have been the split screen that I was thinking of. The gradient was one thing. Changing backgrounds, that was also another thing. That's 2.2 already, so blew it out the window. A lot of the ideas I had are no more because they're already in the game. So yeah, even the teleport trigger, or not the teleport trigger, the teleport orb, that was actually a thing that was implemented in 2.2. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm still gonna do that video. There's still some ideas I have that haven't been in 2.2 yet. But we will see. I'm not quite sure. Because majority of those ideas are already a thing. Now, there's two spider parts, I know. The third, no, not the third, the second spider part, I wanted to implement the split screen because, okay, let me explain the story of how this level, the development of this level went. I was building the level, and this was before the shaders, or no. I hadn't, okay, I remember correctly, sorry. This is what you get when you get uncut footage. Was building play when the update for the shaders came out, and I did not know. It was the second update, I believe, is when they added split screen, and I had no idea that there was an update at all. I don't think I have notifications on for the Discord, so I don't really know when there's like updates and stuff. But yeah, I updated it and I was like, okay, I have to implement this. And so I thought of the cool idea of doing like a 4-player split screen. Because I mean, if you were like 2010s and a little lower, you know what split screen is. I mean, when the screen splits up and you're playing a game, 2-player, local multiplayer, playing with your friend on the same Wii or Xbox 360, and the screen splits, so you guys can have like separate screens. That's how it's usually not like that anymore. There's like, it's all like online and stuff now. I sound old. I'm not, I promise you I'm not. But I mean, yeah, that's the idea I had. And so the reason a lot of people would probably be confused on this, the reason why it says 3 players have joined instead of 4 when the screen splits in 4 is because you're player 1. It's referring to the other 3 screens, not just you. They're not different because it's a shader, obviously. It's the same screen. So if you want a tip on how to beat that part, I'd say focus on one screen. It's the easiest way. That's how I was able to beat it. Now, if you get the coin, first coin, you get the heart. It splits into 9 screens. And I thought that would be a cool way because, you know, it feels more rewarding. The layout doesn't change. It's the same. It's just the shader splits into different screens. So you have like more screens to look at and you're like, oh my gosh, the screen's so small. But I mean, if you remember the layout, then you should be good. Again, focus on one screen if you're having trouble with that part. But you don't have to do anything extra. It just gives you the coin. Or well, a platform falls down and then it gives you the coin. So you gotta remember to jump over that. But yeah, that's technically that part. The reason why it doesn't change to like 8 players have joined when you get the coin, the text, I was lazy. That'd be too much trigger work. I didn't really want to deal with that. Now the ship part that comes after it, that was probably my second favorite part. My third being the split screen. The ship part, that was probably one of my favorite parts, especially when the cubes or the square platform things with the spikes on it fall down and it changes it inverts the screen. That was probably one of my favorite bits. Especially with the animation. If you look closely at the animation and you see the blocks crashing down, you can see on the impact, there's an animation to make it look like, you know, it actually crashed. That was probably one of my favorite things about that part. I really loved how that part turned out. As you could tell, it had influence from Sub-Zero and a bit of World as well, because I know World had that kind of decoration or block design. So I kind of wanted to like do something similar. And then after that comes the cube part. I don't know if I have footage of what the cube part looked before, but when you're small and you turn big, there used to be 2 spikes there that you'd have to jump over. I kept dying at those spikes. It was possible. It's just I kept dying at them, so I was like, that's gonna be annoying, especially because it throws you into it. So I'm glad I got rid of them. Actually, I think it looks way better without it. But the part with the low gravity and you jumping, that was like one of my top favorite parts, honestly. The idea I had for it didn't quite go as planned, because of the way the shaders overlap. Some of them don't. Like the what you call it? Oh, sorry. The chromatic and the grayscale, those don't overlap on each other. You can kind of see it if you look very closely. You can kind of see it, very little. But what I was trying to go for was like an old TV. That's why the screen kind of bulges out. What was it? The pulse, I believe it's what the shader is called. I've been using this thing for forever, and I don't even know the names of the shaders. But that's what I was trying to go for, like an old black and white TV. So the screen was gonna pop out a bit to give that that depth. It was gonna go black and white, and then I was hoping that the chromatics would have like overlapped each other. I'm sure there's a way you can do it. I just haven't figured it out. But that's what the idea was going to be. So it was going to be the black and white, and then on top of that was going to be the chromatic. But that didn't work out. I think the grayscale overlapped the chromatic, which was, oh well, there's not really much I can do. But I do love how that part turned out. One of my favorite parts. Especially if you notice too, if you look in the background turns completely white, and that's done through gradients. If you set the gradient colors to all white, the background will just be completely white. I think it works like that with any color, so it'll seem like a basic background. That's kind of what I was trying to do. I had a cooler idea, but I didn't have it in the level, but that's fine. So you jump and then you go through the pixel part. The custom saw blades are really kind of hard to make. Not really, but they were kind of hard to make. The coin is like definitely a tough spot. But you kind of just gotta hold your button down once you fall. So you get on the platform after skipping the orb, and then you fall, and you just hold the button down, and then you'll like fall into the many blue orbs that sync to the music. I tried my best with these levels to sync to the music. Cyberfight, I think, is the less synced, which kind of sucks because that was kind of the level I was hyping up the most. I still think it's a really good level though. Definitely one of the best song cuts I'll make, or I've ever made so far. Kind of don't want to talk about Cyberfight. We're on play right now. Watch the Cyberfight the commentary in the video if you want to get my thoughts on that. But I tried so hard to decorate this part. It's really hard to decorate these, especially with the lack of blocks you have. There's not as much blocks, but I did what I can, always make sure to jump at the last part as well. But yeah, that was pretty much it for play. After that, you just get to the last part, and the screen turns green for a bit to give you that retro Game Boy 8-bit type sense. I would have made the character green. I should have done that, because not everything is green, and there is a way you can do that. It's actually done in level 2, but yeah. But anyways, that's it for the play commentary. Sorry for the many stuttering I do. I really wanted to make this uncut. It's still going to be uncut. That's how all this is just going to be. It's going to be my genuine thoughts and, discussion about how these levels went. So yeah, that's pretty much it for play. Thank you all so much for watching. The reception or the feedback that I've gotten. Oh, sorry. The feedback I've gotten for Deathwish has been monumental. And I gotta say, for my last project, I have to thank everybody out there. These more videos to come. If you're watching on day one of the day one of this video, the other two haven't released yet. Level 2's video is gonna be released tomorrow, and Level 3's video is gonna be released the day after, which I believe is on Tuesday, if I remember correctly. And then we have something else coming out on that day. So, you know, I made sure to fill this event with a lot of stuff. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy this Pixel Lord Takeover event, and I will see you in the next video, which is tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.